I just wanted to start by saying thank you for being here to celebrate the life of my mama. I knew I wasn't going to be able to get through this in person, so I decided to record it and play it all for you. I can't even believe that I'm doing this still. It's just crazy. She had this way of making the room brighter, and now my world just seems a whole lot darker. But what my mom wasn't was everyone's cup of tea. And the beauty in that is that she didn't want to be. And in a world filled with so many disingenuous people, she was just herself every single time. And she loved her people so fiercely and was willing to go to bat for anyone in need. She taught me to stand up for myself, to speak up when I needed to, and to say no when situations don't suit me. And she truly showed me how to stand on my own and not need her. I just really didn't think it would happen this soon. One of my favorite lifetime memories of my mom was telling her she was going to be a grandparent. Alex and I had to tell her in the parking lot of the restaurant before we went in, so the people next to us wouldn't have damage to their eardrums. She loved her Nugget so much, and I'm so sad that she'll not be able to see her grow up, and how much she's going to miss by not being here. She was also one of the most fun people I've ever met, and she was so funny and hilarious. And for those that don't know, I work for a really big company located in the middle of nowhere in Illinois. And a couple of weeks before our wedding, I had to go to Chicago for work for like a week. And Alex was working, and I didn't want to go by myself. And so we flew into Chicago and spent the whole day just going to the art museums there and the history museums. And it was getting dark, and we still had a couple of hours of a drive to the middle of nowhere in Illinois. And before I continue, for my State Farm folks here, there were no company cars or company rental cars harmed in the making of the rest of the story. If you can see where this is going with that. But basically my mom rented a car for us so that we could spend the day in Chicago and then drive to Bloomington for the trip. And so I was driving along, and the whole time we're just laughing and just giggling, and clearly I wasn't paying attention. It's literally just cornfields from Chicago to Bloomington. And in the middle of that drive, for whatever reason, there's a roundabout. I didn't know it the first time we went through it. But for no reason, literally in the middle of a cornfield. And I drove clear straight through and over that roundabout, just right over the top. The car was fine, and I don't think I've ever laughed so hard in my life. And so we finally just get into Bloomington, and Bloomington has a sister city named Normal. And there's like 2 stoplights in the whole town, maybe a Taco Bell, and something that looked like Carl's Jr., but wasn't. We were so tired and delirious from the whole roundabout thing that it felt like we were in the Twilight Zone, but just 2 Californians stuck in a Midwest town named Normal, but that wasn't normal at all. But we got to spend the week together, and it was some of the most fun that I've ever really had with my mom, especially as an adult. Another one of my favorites, it's kind of on trend with Thanksgiving being next week, is a few years ago there was this trend on social media, and it was like, text your mom and ask her how to cook a frozen solid 20-pound turkey in the microwave. So I did it, and just to see what she would say. And in true my mom fashion, she tried. She like Googled and actually gave me directions on how to cook a frozen solid turkey in the microwave. And yeah, it was just she was gonna try, even if she probably thought that I was absolutely nuts. she sent me detailed directions on how to cook a turkey in the microwave. And we had a good laugh after I told her that I was completely joking. I mean, if nothing else, the last couple of weeks have taught me that nothing is guaranteed in life. I was very blessed to be born to very young parents, and so my whole life I've thought that I had more time, maybe more time than the average bear, because my parents were so young when I was born. But I've been told 15 million times in the last couple of weeks, 14 million by my dad. If you know, you know. He repeats himself a lot, but it is true. So if anything that I can share, I don't really have a whole lot profound to say, to leave you guys with, but it's that tomorrow isn't guaranteed. So text your mom, text your grandparents, show up. I wish I had more. But text your mom and ask her how to cook a frozen turkey in the microwave. It might just be one of your most favorite conversations you have, or favorite memories you have. But ultimately, my heart just isn't ready to say goodbye to her. And I wish I had another second to tell her how much I love her and how much she means to me, and how privileged I've been to call her mine. I had prepared for this life, for this day in my life previously. I just hoped it wouldn't be at 30 as a new mom with a baby that would love to know her as I know my grandparents. And I hope she made it to wherever we go when we leave this world. And I hope that she had a hell of a reunion with my grandma Sharon and all those that went before her. So, all in all, thank you for being here to celebrate the life of my mom and to support us. And please remember her as she was, spunky, loving, and completely and unapologetically herself. Thanks.